I'm Moulton, the Stress Master, and I'd like to take this time to talk with you, a GP, about the subject of stress. As I record this video, many of your GP colleagues are under so much stress, they've already decided to leave the profession because it's just too much. Now, maybe you've had those same thoughts. Only recently, a GP client of mine confided in me that he was so stressed he'd taken several weeks off work as a result, only to return to his busy GP practice and experience the debilitating levels of stress all over again in a very short space of time. He said, "I can't continue this way. It's not only my work that's suffering, it's my family, friends. In fact, it's taking its toll on my entire life. And that's not what I signed up for when I became a GP." Other doctors I've spoken with feel that even their own judgment on patients' conditions could become impaired due to the constant stress they face every day of their clinical practice. And you don't need me to tell you, the situation is getting worse. Increased workloads, constant bureaucracy, more patients that need medical help, but so little time to see them, longer waiting times before they can be seen by you, keeping up to date with latest medical research, drug treatments, revalidation, and so on and on. Is it any wonder that the latest research suggests between 30 and 40% of GPs in the UK experience work-related stress? So much more than doctors in other specialties. And I've not even mentioned that if you're a partner in a GP practice, you've got the added responsibility of managing finances and all the risks that go with it. As one GP stated during research, "I didn't go into medicine to be a paper pusher or to think, how quickly can I get this person out of the door? But that's what it's become," and he said, "I can't deal with the stress of that anymore." Now, you might have some strong team support in your GP practice, colleagues and staff who want to help you overcome your stress issues. Now, that's obviously a good thing, and long may it continue. But is this really the answer to dealing with extreme levels of stress? I mean, can any GP realistically cope with such seemingly impossible demands on physical, mental, and time management resources? Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, you can. For the past 30 years, I've been helping people in all walks of life, professional, academic, public sector, private sector, and workers at every level get their stress under control. And when that happens, it's like a whole new world opens up to them in terms of well-being, happiness, motivation, focus, all the things you as a GP, like anyone else, wants, needs, and can have if stress control is approached correctly. Unfortunately, all too often the ways of dealing with stress provide no relief and in some cases do more harm than good. I've witnessed so many weird and nonsensical ways in which people peddle the idea of getting rid of stress. And in my experience, GPs are not immune to the clueless approaches that suggest chanting affirmations about you being a good doctor, or focusing on physical surroundings, like opening windows to get fresh air, or going for a walk during your lunch break. And that's if you even have time to take one. So what then is the answer to your stress problems? How do you eliminate stress? It's another witless and uninformed approach that will never ever work. Let me cut to the chase, because what I'm about to explain is the basis for how you can get your stress under control, get you back in top form and move forward with your career and your life. I call it the 3 M's of understanding stress. Here's the first M. Stress is not a medical issue. Now, you're a doctor and you know full well that if some anti-anxiety or antidepressant medication was the simple answer, well, you wouldn't be suffering from stress right now. Sorting out your stress has nothing whatsoever to do with serotonin or any other brain chemical. I've seen so many reports that suggest high stress levels can lead to total burnout. They then go on to discuss how to treat the burnout. So the stress that wasn't a medical issue to begin with has now become the diagnosis and the focus. The second M, stress is not a mental issue. Now, are you thinking, just a moment, Chess, surely not being stressed is all about positive mental health, so how could it not be a mental issue? Well, here's what I mean. If one of your patients has a mental health problem, depression or anxiety, for example, then it's likely you'll refer that patient to a counselor or therapist who will work to challenge the thoughts and the ideas and the beliefs that are causing the problem and help that person get on the road to recovery. Perhaps you might be prescribing some relevant medication to complement the therapy. But here's my point. Anxiety and depression are the result of behaviors that are not an inherent part of our mental process. We're not born with depression or anxiety, fears, or phobias. They are the result of past or present issues, life changes, future events, and all manner of experiences that cause the mental health problem. Let me repeat. Depression and anxiety are not built into our brains as a norm. But when it comes to stress, however, it is an innate part of our neural network. Now, I'm probably taking you back to your days of studying to become a GP, but you know what the flight, fight, and freeze syndrome is, and you know what it's all about, and how adrenaline and cortisol is released to support our decision to stay and fight, take flight, or stay and blend in when we're faced with a situation that poses some kind of danger. Now, I'm not trying to teach grandma how to suck eggs here because you know this stuff as a GP. Stress is actually a part of our normal body function. It's there at the ready when it needs to be used. We are wired with stress. That's why the truth of the matter is you can't get rid of stress. Let me repeat that. You can't get rid of stress. It's been a part of us since birth. So why aren't you sorting out your own stress? Because the problem is not with stress. It's how you and I use this amazing built-in resource as a benefit, not as the enemy who delivers distress and burnout and everything negative in our stressed out life. It comes down to the third M. It's all about management. It's about managing your stress, not trying to eliminate what cannot be extinguished. It's about getting those stress levels back to their normal state, then managing them so they keep that way, ready to do the job they were intended to do, help us when we need it. In my workshops and seminars that I've designed specifically for GPs, I show you how to manage your stress using strategies that give you the greatest control in the shortest possible time. I leave no stone unturned, and I not only show you what to do, I show you how to do it. In my upcoming events, I'll share with you tried and tested ways of dealing with work and people without raising your stress levels, whether that's patients, peers, friends, or family. But even more importantly, I'm going to show you how to manage yourself. I'll show you how to be a better communicator, what to do when your motivation to keep going starts to decline, and how to have healthier relationships with yourself and others. I'll show you how to set up the gold standard of goal setting and implementation. And I'll share a problem-solving technique guaranteed to change your life and your approach to almost everything. I'll also share with you 2 absolutely guaranteed methods of how to get a full night's sleep. And as a busy GP, that's one thing you definitely need. Now, once you've learned how to get control of your stress and manage it, we both know it will have an enormous impact on your life. You will conduct better clinics, have better patient outcomes. In fact, your patients will notice a major difference in how you respond to their health issues. You'll be more relaxed, have more fun with your family and friends. You'll have more confidence, along with increased clarity and insight. You'll have improved focus on all the important things that matter. And as part of good management, know when to say no and when to say stop. Now, does this sound like the kind of down-to-earth, no-nonsense solution to the unwanted stress you're experiencing right now? You know, the NHS says that the role of a GP is a stressful job. I believe that sends a totally wrong message. I mean, who wants to be told that after years of study, the passion and desire to make a difference to people's health, and the willingness to work long hours, that what you'll end up doing is struggling with a job that's going to stress you out? And no offense, I have every respect and value highly the work of every doctor, surgeon, and health professional. After all, I'm married to one. But GPs don't have the monopoly on stress, and neither does anyone else. As I've said, we all have stress. Our task is to manage it well, and I'm here to help you do that successfully. So forget the ideas that some spout about getting rid of stress. Instead, invest in learning how to manage it to serve you well. I've got more information in my free downloadable ebook, which is yours by just signing up. And I'll also notify you of workshops and seminars I'm conducting, specifically for GPs, plus any other information I think will help you on the road to less stress and more success. Don't be a victim of stress overload. Please let me help you to manage it so that you can be the GP you want to be, can be, and will be. I do hope we can connect, whether it's just through you wanting more information or meeting you in person at one of my events. Here's to mastering your stress, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Moulton, the Stress Master.